thank you for all you guys joining, taking the time out of your day. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about what this essentially is. And this is just going to be so vibrant. It's going to get everything off your list of procrastination and everything. You're going to have just feel really good. Like a new sleep. You're going to feel great. You're going to introduce it? This is Jaden. What's up, guys? So, you get your best thoughts on here. Boom. So first of all, thanks so much for joining the webinar. We're pumped that you're here. We're pumped to see you guys actually on here to learn this super productivity secret. Now, Gareth, about a month or so ago, actually joined one of the companies that I run called Lifestyle Design Network, which is founded by someone who's earned over $20 million online. And what's really cool about this, I call them adventurepreneurs, because what drew me towards him was that he was just going on all these adventures and was running a successful multi-million-dollar business online. But he's successful not only financially, but he really has his life in order. A lot of people who have seen success, whether it be financial, like monetary, their relationships are going down track and other areas are out of whack. But he's successful financially, spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. And he taught me a concept called the $1 Million Day. And the first time I did the $1 Million Day, which Gareth kind of advertised in this webinar, is the 8-figure productivity blueprint, which you guys are going to get when you stick through this webinar. We're actually going to teach you how you can go through your own $1 Million Day. And just like Gareth, who wiped out 26 years of procrastination, you guys are going to be able to have your own success as well. And the first time I did the $1 Million Day, I think I wiped out about 19 years of procrastination. So Gareth actually one-upped me there and probably had one of the biggest $1 Million Days I've ever heard someone accomplish. But for like our age group, because we're sub 25, like I know people who are like 40s and 50s who have literally wiped out over like 30, 40 years of procrastination, because it's amazing just how much it builds up. Anyways, I'm just kind of special guest. I've earned close to 7 figures online, so close to $1 million through various forms of like advertising online and different mediums. I'm just going to kind of be here to support Gareth, kind of add some context and insight, but Gareth's running the show. And he's going to share with you guys what the $1 Million Day is. And within the next 10 minutes, you're actually going to have the wisdom and knowledge to go and do your own. And maybe you won't wipe out 26 years of procrastination. Maybe you wipe out 10, maybe you'll wipe out 20. But I guarantee you, it's really going to just radically propel you forward in life and just allow you to discover new momentum and a new clarity that you didn't even know existed. So without further ado, Gareth, take it away, my friend.
All right, guys. So I'm going to be teaching you the blueprint, as I call it. It's essentially the multi-million-dollar day. So what it is essentially you're going to get a list and write down everything that you've been procrastinating, if that's just taking your dog for the walk that you don't want to go, or cleaning your room or anything like that, calling your grandma that you haven't had a chance to do. So you write this list down.
And we're literally talking everything here. This is like, well, I haven't changed the garbage bag in my room for the last like few weeks, or I haven't touched that storage space in the top of my closet
that you just throw everything
right,
up
that
there.
you just throw everything up there. Like you're literally trying to think of everything that's taking up mental space in your head, because everything that's inside, because it essentially becomes compartmentalized. You want to be thinking of like things you need to do is taking up space in your brain. And as they stack up, it's taking up a lot of memory space in your brain. So the $1 Million Day is essentially like a big purge where everything you're supposed to just get rid of it all. And it just gives you like that newfound sense of clarity. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, it's just essentially throwing out all this useless stuff that you have storing in your brain that's stressing you out or anything like that. So it's just essentially a list of everything you could think of that you're going to wipe out that day. Or it could be the next day if you start it today, right? So essentially what you're going to do is I want you guys to get a piece of paper and you guys just start listing off all the things you're procrastinating about. And it could be, say, buying the whiteboard that I wanted to get. And then you say how long you've been putting it off. So I wanted a whiteboard for quite a while. So then I wrote, say, 2 months, I've been procrastinating that.
And for example, this watch that I'm wearing right now, the strap or the whatever you call it, the links, one of them was broken. And it was really like 6 months, this stupid watch was just sitting there. It was an expensive watch. It was like $400 or $500, just sitting on my desk, and I wasn't wearing it because I didn't spend the $20 to get it fixed. And
well,
it wasn't because
once.
Yeah.
And you taped it.
Yeah. I didn't have it wasn't because I didn't have the money to do it. It's just because I was like so lazy. I was just procrastinating on doing it. And literally it took like 20 minutes to drop it off and it was fixed. So you want to just write down 3 things right now, and then you can, at the end of this training, you can write down everything to do in your $1 Million Day here. And even like in the comments section, tell us a few things that you guys are procrastinating on, and we'll kind of just give you a little shout out. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah, like something I've been procrastinating getting my voicemail. I've been paying for it for 3 years, but I've never set it up. He's told me I think 5 times, hey, why don't you have a voicemail? Never set it up. So let's go into my actual list.
Yes.
So I could
you
show
forgot
them.
one critical aspect of the $1 Million Day, though. So you write down this whole to-do list, and the reason why it's called a $1 Million Day is because you want to ask yourself, if someone was to offer me $1 million, do you think I could get everything done in one single day? And I guarantee, if I was over in your house right now, wherever you're watching this webinar, and I was serious, I had the cash in hand, we signed contracts, and I was going to give you $1 million if you complete that whole to-do list in 24 hours. Would you do it? I guarantee you're going to make it happen. You're not going to let procrastination enter your heart. You're not going to think twice. You're going to wake up at like 4 in the morning, and you're going to go all the way to midnight. That's pretty similar to actually what you did in your $1 Million Day, which allowed you to wipe out the 26 years. But that's critical. You make this list, write down how many years of procrastinating, and then the whole idea is you're going into this with the mentality that someone's going to give you $1 million when you actually when you remove all this procrastination. And a huge shout out to actually Dan Avalone, who said getting rid of old clothes, and that was really big for me because it was really big for me too. And the funny thing is because we have all these clothes that are in our closets, and they actually disempower us. We look at them and we actually get negative energy when we look at the clothes, and then you're not going to wear them. So number one, they're giving you negative energy. You're never going to wear them. So why do you have them in your closet? Just get rid of them.
Or they don't fit you, and you're like, well, maybe one day I'll fit into that. Just get rid of it. You could buy a new shirt. It's a 50-cent shirt. Just get rid of it.
Exactly. And like I said, and also I know like a lot of guys don't like to go shopping. I'm kind of the same way. And you procrastinate and buy new clothes. But if new clothes, when you look at them, they empower you and motivate you. If that's like plus 10%, like happiness and willpower throughout the day, that's a huge payoff, right? So anyways, keep it going.
All right, so I'm just going to pull up my list for you guys 1 second. All right, just going to share.
A huge shout out to Garrett too, because this is his first webinar here, and he's doing a great job here. And this $1 Million Day, I was really impressed when he showed it to me, and you guys are going to get a feel for what that is.
So guys, right here is the actual list. Well, mine was handwritten. I just made this a little bit neater and tidier for you guys. So one thing was clean my car. I'm one of those people that just throw the random stuff behind my seat. Then I've cleaned my car, looked good. So I crossed that off my list. My voicemail.
And what's up? Because cleaning car is very generic. You clean your car, and we're talking about literally doing things like, for example, your glove box. That's a huge place that there's probably like 6 months at least of procrastination of old receipts, of change, your glove box, the box beside you. Like we're talking about the nooks and crannies. You did I thought you had a new car when you rolled up. Like literally, it was not only spotless on the outside, but spotless on the inside.
And we're talking about, under that seat where you have that one receipt and you throw it there. I want you guys to go under that seat and throw out all those receipts that you don't need. You're not going to return that chocolate bar.
You might find some surprises down there too.
I found some money. Well, I bought his car, and I found a lot of his money that he's lost. So the next one is the voicemail. I've been paying for it for 3 years, as I said, and then I finally got the chance and I did it. And now I have a voicemail, and it's actually saving me a lot of time because I could actually communicate with the people that call me.
He has an iPhone, and he didn't have visual voicemail. He had the voicemail we have to call in. And it's like $2 or $3 literally to freaking get visual voicemail, which makes it way easier. And he didn't do that, and he didn't even have a voicemail for so long. He finally did on this $1 Million Day, so I'm super pumped. And it feels great, huh?
It felt great. Now I'm excited. I want people to call me just so I could not answer, so I could hear their voicemails. So that one I crossed off my list. And look, we're already at 3 years, 2 months right there. So I got an Apple TV. I've had it sitting beside my bed, and I never hooked it up to my TV. It's literally 3 wires that I have to plug in. It took me a minute. So I did that. That's 2 weeks right up. I cleared that out of my mind. So then I cleaned my car. I got the inspiration. I cleaned my car. So let's clean my room. Clean my room. I've wanted to. I've had some clothes that I've been laying around on the floor. Cross that off the list. Clean up my email. This one I got because I bought a brand new laptop, and I was syncing all of my emails. Then next thing I noticed, I had quite a few thousand emails trying to get.
You sent me a screenshot. You had like 100,000 emails or something, and these like obscure emails that he didn't even use anymore. So instead of actually purging all those emails, just to set himself on new momentum, because this was kind of like a point where he's putting his foot down and saying like, this is I'm creating new energy in my life, a new me. So he just creates some new email addresses. And that was perfect. It's fresh, clean start. Again, taking that mental clutter away.
And it just stressed me out every time I opened my computer, and it would freeze because I have 100,000 emails trying to come through.
Exactly.
So then I moved into my new place, and I had all these boxes that I just threw in the corner because I didn't want to deal with them. They had some old stuff from high school or elementary school.
So many people who died. They might not be a lot of boxes, but if you've recently moved like within the last sub-year, like guaranteed you probably have like a few boxes in your closet. Again, like in the deepest, darkest places of your closet where you dare not venture, under your bed.
The door you don't open.
Like, why? That's just energy. That's just being, I don't like it. It's like icky.
I honestly had those 2 boxes. I'm like, well, I don't know where I'm going to put it. I didn't keep, I don't think, anything from those boxes.
Exactly.
I had, because when I packed my stuff, I just threw pens and stuff into these boxes because I didn't want to pack, and half of it I threw all out. And then I bought a whiteboard. I wanted a whiteboard, as Jaden has a whiteboard, and we'd be talking, he'd be writing stuff on his whiteboard. I'm like, man, I want a whiteboard. That's awesome. So I finally went to Staples, and it cost me, I think, like $20 to buy a whiteboard, and now I use it every day. All right. Then I wanted to look for a desk. You don't have to buy something if you don't have the money right now, but just look into it, maybe finance, and try to figure it out.
Because the thing is, a lot of people have these dreams. They say to themselves, well, when I make more money, I'm going to get a desk. And then you ask them, well, what kind of desk do you want? I don't know. The more specific that you get with the dreams and the things you want, you're going to find that you kind of lay the groundwork for them to actually come into fruition, come to their physicality, where if you don't get specific with your dreams, I guarantee they're not going to happen. Like a lot of people say, well, when I make money, I'm going to start, or when I own my own business, I'm going to go on all these vacations. And lo and behold, if you ask them where they want to go, they'll maybe spit out one place and one activity. Like if that's what you want to do, if travel is a big victory for you, you need to literally map out the flights. You should do this early. You should map out the activities that you want to do. And because you're going to realize, number one, that a lot of the times it's way more tangible than you think. Like you might think you won't be able to make it happen for like a few years down the road until you get that promotion or until you have that break in your business. But guarantee you're going to realize that, like Gareth was talking about wanting to go rent a villa in Italy. And again, he was telling me, well, like a couple years down the road, I'll do it. And then we looked it up over breakfast one morning.
It's pretty doable.
It was doable. And he was like thinking, well, I could actually probably do that this summer. And he didn't know that. No, so the more specific you get with your dreams and the things you want, the more tangible, the more likely they're going to happen. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, when we were looking at the villa, we found out it's the same as almost rent for that month. Exactly. Right? So we were just doing it. Then we're like, oh, why don't we rent a Ferrari? Then we looked into renting the Ferrari.
Exactly. So make sure everything's good here. Yeah, you guys can see the screen. Perfecto.
All right. You have to quit up there. Yeah, quit. There you go. I'll minimize that.
All right.
All right. So then cleaning out that dark, desolate closet of mine. When I moved here, I just threw the stuff because I have like a wardrobe, and I just threw the stuff in there because I thought people wouldn't be able to see it. Well, I knew it was there. And people definitely did see it.
Yes.
So let's cross that off the list.
That was 5 years. Like you're gonna find the strangest things that take the most of your time in this list too. Like for me, it was like this weird 3-drawer cabinet I had beside my desk that literally I didn't touch for like 3 or 4 years as well. So that's pretty funny.
Well, the sad thing is I just moved one closet of clutter into my new closet of clutter when I could have just spent an extra 5 minutes.
Right. And that's the funny thing. It really doesn't take that much longer. Anyways, let's speed through these options.
All right. Whitening my teeth. I bought some whitening strips for 2 years. Haven't done that. Did that. I had a sliver in my hand from work. It was causing me pain, but I looked at it. I'm like, I'll get to that soon. I don't have time right now. Finally took that out, and honestly, that was
right. And it just
really
goes to show you that's the extreme case of like of procrastination. You might be thinking to yourself, well, procrastination doesn't run that far with me, but you're gonna find in different ways it will for you. It just goes to show you how deep procrastination and laziness is ingrained in our human DNA. And what this exercise does is, number one, makes you conscious of that, and number two, gives you a way, like I said, to dispel it and set yourself upon new energy. Because now, if Gareth was to do another $1 million day, you probably have a hard time, to be honest, thinking of some things to do because you're pretty on top of things.
I'm pretty on top of things now, but thinking about it right now, there's some things that I think I can put in, but it's nothing.
And that's why this concept's so empowering, because you do it once, you have this massive purge, and then I usually do it like every 2 to 3 months after that.
And it feels good every time.
It feels great every time.
All right, let's speed through these ones. Buy a folder. I just had all my receipts in an old box, and finally got that done. Hang up my guitars. Oh my god, I bought something from a music store to hang up my 2 guitars, and I had them in a box, in that box of pile that I didn't even remember that I had. And finally I hung them up, and it looks good, right?
Like, it looks great.
Really nice. I had this old email called Italy_skater. Very professional. And that was the one that was all those emails. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to delete this all. And it feels good. I changed all my social media, organized my room, so I put all my furniture how I wanted. Give Jana a note that I had to write for him for a challenge.
Yeah.
And I always forgot to do that.
So the reason why you were, I don't even think we're going to get to these because you guys can see all this stuff for yourself.
There's one I want to go through quickly. Yeah. So, as Jaden knows, I had this handprint, this little grease handprint right on my interior when I opened my door.
Yes.
As I'm a mechanic right now,
Yes.
I worked on my car. I don't remember what I did, but I had a grease stain. It was there for 5 months, but I never got around to clean it. I'm like, oh, I got in my car and it would make me mad. I would be mad. I'm like, why haven't I cleaned that yet?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, I'll do that tomorrow. When I have more time, I'll do it on the weekend. Or I'll do it on my day off. And I never did it. And so I just went down. And honestly, it took me probably a minute. I just went down there with Febreze and a towel and wiped it off.
And you left that for like, what was it? It was
5 months.
5 months.
Yeah.
So 5 months, every time he gets into his car, which is probably 2 to 3 times a day, and he would feel angry and disempowered. It's affecting his mood. And I guarantee you, again, you might be thinking, well, what the hell? I don't have that. But there's things in your life that are exactly similar to that. That's disempowering you right now.
It could be something just under your bed.
Every single morning, and then it actually puts you in a negative state. So it's literally amazing the change. Like when Gareth did his $1 Million Day, I hung out with him the next day, and he seemed like a new person.
And also, it's not something. It could be something in your routine that you do every day, like stepping over the newspaper when you go out to your door.
Right.
Pick it up and put it on your counter. I know my girlfriend is really bad for that. She opens the door and she walks over the newspaper. I'm like, what much more effort is it to pick up that newspaper and put it in your desk or on your counter?
Exactly.
Let's close this down then.
We're gonna bring up. We're gonna do about 10 more minutes here, guys. Share some of these things. It looks like we actually have a few questions, so that's awesome to see. Let's take a second to answer them. So, taking out a slab.
Yeah.
So that's pretty funny. Yeah. Like I said, the sliver was the extreme case, but I can remember things like that too. Like literally, it's the same thing. Like I had a sliver, a small little cut, and I was like, I'll put a Band-Aid on that soon. Put a Band-Aid on soon, and like it goes and gets affected. Like it's just the little strangest things.
Well, when I did take out the sliver, actually, I still have a kind of a scar from it because it was so bad. But I told Jane, I'll take it out. Oh, it was infected, and that's why it was causing me pain. Why didn't I do that before, right?
Yeah, so thanks so much for staying on with us, guys. We're going to go about 10 more minutes longer, 10, 15. We're going to actually share you with just a few productivity tips. Yeah, and which you're going to be able to use when you actually go after this webinar and start your $1 Million Day and just really how to get the most from it. Because it's really a learning lesson. You guys, there's a lot of things you can do to kind of like put a supercharger on us or like a turbo and like just accentuate your results even further.
All right, so my first one that I noticed when I was doing the day, and Jaden and I met up for lunch, and I had my notebook with all my stuff that I had to do that day. And I'd get in my car, and I rolled up my window, and it started to squeak. I'm like, need to do that. Or I forget, or I was doing other things, and I just write throughout the day. And it would be small things, and it just keeps growing, and you just cross them out, and you feel so good at the end of the day when you actually finish all that stuff, and you just...
It's amazing. Like, you get like a higher buzz at the end of the $1 Million Day, even though you're like dead tired because you've like grinded really hardcore.
I've never slept
like
so...
you have more of a buzz than when you take like caffeine. Like it's literally unbelievable, the energy and the vitality that you feel. You sleep better, you wake up more energized. It's amazing. I'm so excited for you guys to actually go out after this webinar once we share with you these last few tips and actually do your $1 Million Day, because it's just such a powerful concept.
Family will notice. Like everyone notices. All right. Also, a tip is just...
The first step, basically, just anytime that you see something that you're going to procrastinate on, you're like, I'll do that later. If it's going to take you less than like 2 to 5 minutes, just do it then and there. Because again, there's no point having it in your mental real estate, which is just going to clog up your mind. You might as well just go ahead and do it there.
All right, this is one that I don't just use it on my $1 Million Day. I actually use it all the time. Is when I'm sending a text message or email work related, or if I'm texting Jaden, don't just do that 2-word answers in a little bit. Send everything that you need to know, and it frees up a lot more space. So you're not having that back and forth communication, just that one big, it could be a paragraph, a few sentences, but then the person actually knows what you're trying to communicate. The other thing, it sounds kind of cheesy, but at the end of your $1 Million Day, reward yourself. You've accomplished a really good thing. I rewarded myself actually halfway through my $1 Million Day because I want to actually talk to Jaden. So him and I went, where was it, Red Robin?
Yes, just
some restaurant. And him and I just talked about what I was doing and how I'm doing and what else I have to do. And
so this is like the concept of like the carrot and the stick, and the most successful people do this for themselves. So for example, Mark Hoverson, who runs Lifestyle Design Network, which is he's actually who created this concept, the $1 Million Day. He's earned over $20 million online. He uses vacation and play as carrots on the stick to motivate him. So he'll set like a vacation or commitment because he knows with that commitment coming up, there's so much he has to get done in between them that puts him in a hyper-productive state. So use carrots as a stick to motivate yourself. Maybe it's that you set like a dinner date with your girlfriend by the end of it.
And he seems like he's been doing that all the time.
Exactly.
All right, wait, we have... do
Do you guys use an app like OneNote to stay organized?
Actually, that's funny. That was one of my next ones. I actually use something called Clear, and it's just the app that I use day to day, and it just has something that
so to-do lists are super helpful on your smartphone. 100%. We recommend using those.
But I get the nice. I like to cross things out, which on the Clear app actually that Gene just opened up, you actually could cross it off.
And it's kind of gamified. Like when you cross things off, it makes like these weird game noises. And it almost makes it addicting to cross things off onto your to-do list. So it's called Clear. It's in App Store. I think it's for Android as well.
Yeah, it's only.
And the last tip I'm going to give you guys for doing your $1 million day is to write down more than you actually think you can accomplish. Because Gareth, halfway through his $1 million day when he broke for lunch, he showed me the rest of the things he had to do. And he was like, I actually don't know if I can do all these things in a day. And you want to write down more, you want to write down so much so that you get uncomfortable, because you're going to surprise yourself at actually what's possible in a single 24 hours. It almost gives you like a new comprehension of time, because you really you underestimate what you can actually do in a day. It's super, super powerful.
Well, I was uncomfortable at 15 years. I'm like,
Yes.
wow, I'm only 20, 15 years, and now I'm at 25. Well, 20 something. The last tip I want to share with you guys is actually when you finish your list and you're just about to start your $1 million day, is look into the list and pick the hardest thing that you could think of doing and do that first. Do that first, because then you feel good. You finish that at say 6, 7, 8 in the morning, and you actually feel good. You're like, I accomplished 5 years right there. Then because you're a lot more motivated during the beginning of your, because I started to lose motivation, and then I'm like,
Right.
oh, I need to finish this.
You start your day with basically a reserve of willpower. And as you go throughout your day, this willpower reserve gets lower and lower and lower. So if you do your lowest leverage activities in the beginning, by the time you get to night, because your willpower is so low, your motivation, your drive is going to be down. You're probably not going to get to those big things, okay? So what you want to do is you really want to make sure that you structure it. So on your $1 million day, you do your highest, the most strenuous tasks first, because then when you get towards the end, your willpower reserve is running low, then it's easy to just knock those things off. And it's like bang, 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 super, super quick. So Rita asks, how does this make you money? So we'll get into some other things and stuff, but this isn't even about making money. This is greater than making money, because a lot of people think money is going to be a solution to their problems, but it's really little life hacks like this that really propel you and bring you great happiness and joy in life. So I think that's all.
Also, the other thing about the making the money part is it's actually going to open up so much more time freedom in your day to do the projects that you're thinking of doing, or just anything like that. Any project ideas that you have the actual time freedom now to do it.
Exactly. So I hope you guys really got a lot from this webinar. Gareth did a great job of kind of explain what the $1 million day is. So long story short, create a to-do list of everything you've been procrastinating on. Spend a half hour on this list and write down how many years you've been procrastinating next to each item, and then tally it up. And literally go for more than you think you can accomplish. And then structure one day that you have off from work or whatever. So maybe it's a Saturday or Sunday, whatever your day off is. And just spend the whole day accomplishing that with the mindset that someone's going to give you $1 million after completing that.
Can you do it?
Could you do it? That is our question to you. Could you do it? And I guarantee you that if you hustle and you make it happen, you're going to do it. And you're going to wake up. You're going to sleep better. You're going to feel like you're more revitalized. You're going to have more energy. And it's just going to be so, so powerful for you. So thanks so much, guys, for attending this webinar. Real quick, Gareth learned this concept through Lifestyle Design Network, which is a company that I'm an executive in, that Mark founded, that basically teaches you how you can start putting yourself on a path to really accomplishing the things that you want in life, and kind of applying these little life hacks to start living a more fulfilling life. It's not about making money. It's about putting yourself into momentum, into really going for your dreams and aspirations in your life, and manifesting your lifestyle, your definition of lifestyle design into reality. So if you guys want to learn more about the Lifestyle Design Network, there's actually a $7 free trial, which will allow you to play the 8-figure Launchpad game, which really contains the $1 million day and the full $1 million day training from Mark himself, which is actually 2 hours long. He dives deeper into these concepts, and I'm just going to share the screen quickly to kind of show you what's inside of this game. And
just 1 second, just for Rita, we are both 20. Actually, you just turned 21.
Yeah, I just turned 21. Anyways, so you guys can see on screen here that for $7 you get access to this reality game. What's really cool is what we've been doing is we've been experimenting with a concept called gamification, where we apply like the elements of gaming into education. So we take the motivation and the intrinsic elements that make games so addicting, and we make education really addicting. So if you thought the $1 million day concept was powerful, which is actually level 6 in this 7-level reality game that you can get for $7.
Dreamscaping level 1, the very first one.
Right. So Dreamscaping is a super powerful training. It's about 35 minutes long. There's a really great action guide and that actually dives deeper into the concept of you need to get specific with your dreams, and when you become more specific with your dreams, how they just have a funny way of making themselves happen. Like literally, guys, I didn't think that being a 21-year-old, I would have been an executive in a company that's on track to do multi-million dollars in revenue this year and be approaching the 7-figure mark online in terms of online revenue. And it's because I set those intentions, I set those goals. I didn't think last year I spent 4 months traveling of the beaches of Thailand and different exotic locations. I was in Arizona just a few months prior to that, networking with some really great guys who are multimillionaires and even a couple billionaires. And all these things happen because I set the intention, I set the momentum, and they just kind of carry forward. So Dreamscaping does more to that.
Well, like Thailand, Jane went to me one day and he's like, I'm going to Thailand. I'm like, how are you going to Thailand? And he's like, well, he set his goal and he's like, I'm going to sell this.
I was like, in 2 months, I'm going to Thailand. And I was like, what the hell? And I made it happen in those 2 months because I became really specific.
I think it went earlier than 2 months, to be honest. Yeah.
This is a super powerful training from Mark. Like,
well, like the 7 quantum rituals of wealth. Oh my God.
Yeah, so in that training, I mean, Mark just drops a lot of wisdom bombs of really what goes into wealth creation. So if you're looking to not only put yourself on the path to making your passions a way that you can actually start making money from, this is a great way to start, where Mark kind of dispels some of the common misconceptions and what people think goes into wealth creation, and gives you 7 key principles to set yourself up to develop true wealth. Because it's one thing, a lot of people think that wealth is cash or money. Wealth isn't cash or money. Wealth is when you actually have income producing, going in the background. You're just constantly generating income, because cash is transient. Yes, cash is transient. Cash can go. But when you have an income producing, or like a business, that's really what lasts, or like residual investments, that's actually what creates true wealth. And Mark dives more into that training. There's just so much great content here. We have executive communication with Garrett, touched briefly on.
That changed another.
Which completely changed the perception of communication for Gareth and even myself. And the whole concept of that is essentially seeing communication less as guerrilla warfare. So when you send an email, it's not a back and forth struggle. It's trying to predict what questions, what objections the person on the other end is going to have, and you answer that in the first wave of communication, so that you're not tied to your phone. So there's some great things here. Like I said, $7, and you guys can play for the first. So
essentially a dollar level, I'd say. Yeah, it's a dollar level.
So if you guys want to play that game, if not, it's totally chill. I hope you guys got a ton of value from the webinar from the $1 Million Day concept. You can connect with Gareth just actually on Facebook and shoot him a message, and he'll connect with you. And he's actually, if you guys do pay for the $7 free trial, he's actually going to jump on a 20-minute coaching call with you and help you best set yourself up to see success with your $1 Million Day, and also using the 8-figure Launchpad game. But just type in Gareth Church on Facebook. His profile picture is him underneath a hike that we actually went to on a rock, and then you'll see his on his posts are going to be about the webinar. So you can connect with him, shoot him a message, just be like, "Hey Gareth, I was on your webinar. I'm interested in learning more about the 7-level 8-figure Launchpad reality game." But if not, like I said, I hope you guys got a ton of value from this concept. Is there any words that you want to leave these guys with?
No, I just really hope that you guys got a lot of information from this. I hope that you guys are really excited about this, as excited as we are to share this with you.
Oh. Looks like we have a question from Rita. How can you eliminate 25 years of procrastination if you're only 20 years old? Because certain years compound, right? Like certain things will happen during the same year. So 5 years ago, he might procrastinate working at his desk, but then like a year later, but then he also might procrastinate.
Well, let's put it like this way. My wardrobe was 5 years and my guitars was 5 years. That was running at the same time. So that's 10 years, but that could have been only 5 years there. But then on top,
it's not uncommon for people to wipe out more procrastination than their age. It really is, and the more amount of years that you wipe on your $1 Million Day, the more effective it's going to be. So you can get coaching from Gareth just by going to his Facebook page and shooting him a message. Like I said, it's just Gareth. You can just type into Facebook Gareth Church. I think we can even post a link in the chat there, so you guys can actually just connect with him and just shoot him a message. I just paste it in the chat there, just be like, "Hey Gareth, I was on your webinar. I'm interested in coaching from you, or interested in the $7. So Dan Avalon asked, "Can we get the game for free?" It's $7. If you feel like if the game wasn't what you're expecting, or you don't like it, 100% we'll give you a refund. But I mean, just try it out. You really have nothing to lose. The $1 Million Day concept's in there, which we dive into even more detail.
So what we're just talking about is only 1 out of the 7 things. Right. So you get so much information for that $7.
These are essentially 7 life hacks that when you begin applying to your life and business, is going to totally alter your momentum and your energy. And Rita, it's $7. $7. Anyways, we're gonna end off here because we said it would be half an hour. So thanks so much, guys, for coming on this webinar.
And like Jane said, if you guys have any other questions, just message me on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to get with you guys and communicate
and
with
just
it.
really take this. Don't just, a lot of people live in the fantasy of what this concept can do for them or what information they're learning can do for them. They'll be like, oh, the $1 million day, that's a cool concept. I'll get to that eventually. But actually do it. It's Saturday tomorrow. It's a weekend. Schedule it for Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, I want you guys to actually do this. Like,
do this. It's so powerful, seriously. And after you do this $1 million day concept, I guarantee you're gonna just feel absolutely freaking phenomenal.
you're going to be telling your friends. They're going to.
I
be
guarantee
wanting to
you,
do
your
this.
parents, your friends are gonna be like, "What the heck has gone into you? Like, you seem way more organized. You just have." I'm lost for words. That's how powerful this is. I don't even know how to explain.
Well, that's like when I met with you. I couldn't
Right.
even. I wasn't talking. I was kind of mumbling. I was just so excited with everything.
So the game link that you guys can sign up for, I can also paste in the chat there. But go ahead and definitely connect with Gareth, and he can give that to you if we miss it here. But
Just hold on 1 second,
one
guys.
second, and I'll paste it for you guys. And you guys can also connect with me as well on my Facebook. You can just get that from Gareth, and I'm game to also have a conversation with you guys and get you guys set up on the right foot here, because this information is so powerful. It's completely changed my life, and if you take it seriously and you actually apply it, it's going to change yours. It really, really is. So I'm going to paste this link in the chat. We're going to end with some Def Leppard,
as I'm actually going to see them live tomorrow. So I thought it would be a good way to wrap up and begin my webinar.
So just pasted the link there. Like I said, if you missed it or whatever during the replay, just click the button below or just connect with Gareth on Facebook and he'll get that. We're going to end with some Def Leppard.
All right,
and
guys.
Apply this, guys. Do it. Do it this weekend. I really want to hear your stories. And so does
Here,
Gareth.
let's be a little cheesy. Don't procrastinate doing your procrastination challenge.
Don't
right?
procrastinate on the procrastination challenge because that's not good.
All right, guys. See you guys later.
Take care, guys. Thanks so much for going.
See ya.